The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is the newest Disney Plus Marvel series, and I was so excited for this series, so excited that I bought a shirt of this series before it even came out. I know I'm gonna love this series. We are one episode in, and already I adore it. If you don't know, this was supposed to come out at the end of 2020, but it did get delayed, and then of course we had WandaVision before, which I also love to have reviews of every single episode, as well as a ranking of all the episodes. I'll link those down below and up here. So going into this, I knew I was going to love it, okay? Bucky Barnes is one of my favorite characters in the entire MCU, and I also really love Sam Wilson. I've loved both their characters for probably since the first time I've seen them on screen. Like, I even love Bucky Barnes in Captain America: The First Avenger. So going into this, I was excited because, like, look at the events of the last films. We knew that something great was going to come here, and already, I'm going to give a spoiler warning here. There's so much to talk about within this first episode. I've now watched it twice, and I had to watch it twice just in case there was, like, that shock element of the first time I watched it, but nope. Both times I watch it, phenomenal. So the episode kicks off with this incredible action sequence. It is so good. We have Sam Wilson, or Falcon, of course, Falcon there, and he's sent on this mission that kind of involves through the air, like flying planes and all that, and he uses, I think it's called Red Wing or whatever, like the little thing on the back of like the, the wings, and he flies out and it like cuts a hole and he breaks in, and then in like the style of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, he just starts beating the crap out of everyone. It is so awesome. That's one of the biggest praises I can give this episode, and probably it'll be overall the show in particular, but the action sequences remind me a lot of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and I mean, they both have the same 3 words in each title, so that makes sense. But a lot of you would agree that the Winter Soldier has some of the best action in the MCU, if not the best. Like, definitely some of them, hand to hand, everything, shaky cam, it all works here, and Sam just kicks ass throughout, and then the way he blocks all the bullets, and then of course they go into the air, and it's quite a long sequence because they fly through the air. There's some cool shots from like Sam really close up, and then he gets really close, and like his wings start hitting the sides of like the, what are they called, like canyons or whatever, and I'm not entirely sure how they filmed that, how much of it was real, how much was CGI. I mean, obviously some of it had to be CGI because it's Falcon, of course, and like the MCU uses CGI because they have to. Should never be a complaint for anyone, but that is an incredible action sequence. There's some really funny jokes where he's like, if we cross the US border, he'll never see us. He's like, what's up? And like pans to Falcon, he's like, what's up? It's really great, really exciting, and then we do get some emotion here because, there's the memorial or whatever for Captain America, and then we see Rhodey, which is really nice to see, and Anthony Mackie really brings it here once again. Just, there's so many close-ups here, and they really hit hard, and then of course Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, James, whatever you want to call him, all of that is amazing because it starts off with this action sequence. And when it first started, I was like, okay, where are we? And then you see a metal arm punch through the wall and you're like, haha, there we go. And it's obviously a flashback of him as the Winter Soldier because it ends as him saying, Hail Hydra. And there's something really pivotal about that scene that has to do with later on in the episode with one of the people that he killed there. And then we see him kind of in therapy and all that, and there's some of the shots, like there's a really weird close shot like this on both of them, which took me like out of it for a little bit, but it was kind of weird, but it worked, and obviously the acting was very good from both Sebastian Stan and whoever played the therapist. Really interesting. We learned that Sam's been texting him and he just hasn't been responding, that the only person he called in the last week was his therapist, and then he goes on the date, and I think the guy's name is Yori, who's like the older man that he's kind of with, and obviously that's what has to, that's what that Winter Soldier flashback dream sequence thing whatever related to there. But the older man gets him to go on a date with like the bartender kind of girl who the place they're working at, and they have a really kind of nice sweet scene, and it's kind of funny, Bucky drinks so much here. But then there's a mention of his son, and then he goes, and this is like one of the biggest scenes in this episode, he goes to the apartment and then he looks in kind of like through the window, and you can really, this is when Sebastian Stan is just so good. The emotion on his face as well as Anthony Mackie, it's just so great. He looks over and he sees kind of like this picture of him, and he just like, he realizes, and it's like this very subtle moment. I almost didn't catch it even, and then of course he goes in and he realizes, and then Anthony Mackie, or Sam Wilson, I keep calling them all different names because they have a bunch, we see him with his family more, and then they're trying to get kind of bank loans and trying to fix stuff with their family because Sam's been gone for 5 years because of the snap. And then there's some really great comedy there where the bank loan guy, he's just like, this may be a bad question to ask and you can say no, but can I get a selfie with your arms out? out, and then Anthony Mackie's like, oh my god. I found the pilot episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier to be phenomenal. There's a great ending too, with obviously the reveal of Carl from Up as Captain America, whatever. I won't give that guy too much shit because it's cool. I'm really interested to see what they do there and see what they do with kind of those villains who had this really cool action sequence too there, and like the superhero scene where I think he either punches or kicks the guy and he goes flying. This episode was really great, and I'm going to give episode 1 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier a 4.5 out of 5. Yeah, that's a high grade, but this episode was really great. Again, I watched it twice because I really had to kind of figure out my thoughts on it, see if it wasn't just like some, I don't know what to say, like the shock factor of it being like, yes, this is a show I've been waiting for. This was my most anticipated MCU show. I barely grabbed my shirt there, but I mean, I bought this shirt before the show came out. Now, I love the characters anyway, so it works, but I know I'm going to love the show. I know it's going to be my favorite already. But have you seen the episode? Tell me what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.